Hi everybody, check this out. I now have a new microphone, a Rode NT USB, so hopefully in the future all of my audio is going to sound so much better. I have my Cintiq 16 which I'm now working on, and I'm just loving it. At first it totally freaked me out, it scared me to death. I struggled with the size of the screen and all the menus on there taking up all of the real estate. I have now got that sorted, so I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. So let's crack on and do some artwork. So I'm working in Corel Painter 2019 and I'm going to do this portrait. This is the father of an old mate of mine, and he's asked me to do this, so I thought it would be an ideal subject to really push this Cintiq that I have now to the limits. And I am going to do a coloured pencil drawing with an airbrush bash. Where did that come from? Airbrush background, which you can see I'm putting that now. And then I am going to start going in with some pencils. So this really is going to really see how I get on with this Cintiq 16 and also with Corel Painter 19, because I haven't used it a lot. I've probably done 4 or 5 paintings in it since I've had it. I think I bought it last July time, and I've not used it a lot because I wasn't a massive fan of the Intuos Pro. The Intuos Pro was, I mean, it's brilliant for what it is, but I'm so used to using the iPad Pro and drawing in a very natural way that the Intuos Pro was putting me off sitting at the PC and actually doing any painting. So that's the reason I've got this Cintiq 16. But the first, if you watch the last video I made, the first painting I did using this Cintiq was in Art Rage, and to be honest I was not happy with the result. And the reason was that although it's 16 inches, so it's about 3 or more inches larger than the iPad Pro, a lot of the area was taken up with menus, and so the drawing area did become quite small. And although it looked fine when I was working on it at a small scale, as soon as I zoomed in, it just looked awful. And I was thinking to myself, have I made a mistake? It wasn't really, it wasn't an issue with Art Rage, because I've since had a play around with Art Rage and I've now got my head around that. It was an issue with me and the techniques I was using, or the method I was using to do the painting, and that is I was keeping all of the menus on the screen. Well, you can see now I haven't got any menus on the screen at all. I've just got that colour picker, which was absolutely brilliant because I could switch off all the menus and I could use that to select colours. And everything else I need to do, I now use hotkeys for, and I've messed around with it and I've quickly got a grips with how to resize the canvas without having the menus there. Admittedly, in this painting, I hadn't worked that out yet, and I was kept switching the menus back on by pressing the tab key so that I could rescale the canvas. But I've now sorted that, so I don't have to go into the menus for that. I can choose the colours, I can change the size of the brush, I can move the canvas around on the screen, I can rotate the canvas. I can do all of that without having any menus on the screen. And in Corel Painter, I can even change the brush without bringing the menus up, just by clicking a button on the actual stylus. So you can see I can get right close in now. So this has made a massive difference to it. So it was really just me working out the best way to use this Cintiq 16 and not just wade into it as I was on my old monitor, because with the Intuos Pro, I was working on, I don't know, a 27-inch monitor, I think. So I could keep all the menus on there, and I still had a nice large area to work on. So without any of the menus, I can definitely work on an area as big as an A4 sheet now, and then I can obviously zoom in on that as well. As you can see on this here, I can zoom right in, and I can see all those pencil lines nice and sharp. So totally love it now. This takes me 2 pieces of work, one in Art Rage and now this one, to get to grips with the Cintiq. And you may have noticed at the beginning of this video, I have a new introduction, and I've sort of made it a lot cleaner. I've taken off my photo of me playing the bass, because I'm thinking, although it is a painting of me, it isn't really relevant to the channel. So I've removed that, and I am actually going to do a self-portrait and use that in the near future. So that's something I've got planned. But I've also removed the words traditional artist, and it now just says digital artist, because I feel at this point that I have moved away from painting traditionally completely. I don't really want to paint traditionally. I'm not offering any services or commissions working with traditional media. Everything I do is now digital. So I thought that should be reflected in the videos. And I've been looking at ways of printing my images to a high quality. And this is the reason I first went digital, to be honest, because I was having such a job taking a decent photograph of my finished work that I thought, why don't I go digital and cut that process out? So I've been using Costco for my print service, and it was okay, but the prints do look a little bit photographic, like they're done on photo paper. So I've got a store. You're probably aware, if you've clicked on the link at the end of the video, I've got a Redbubble store, and I have ordered a few of their artist quality prints, which aren't cheap, but my word, the quality of them is absolutely superb. They come on a matte black paper, a totally matte finish to the paper. The paper is actually white, and the saturation of the colours is absolutely superb. So I'm going to make a video on the art quality prints from Redbubble, because you can, if you're doing your own artwork and you just want to print out your own work, you might not be aware, you can actually upload your images, make them private, and just get copies for yourself. You don't have to make a store to sell stuff. So I'm going to do a video on that, because I think it's well worth looking at. So I now have a way of getting really, and I do mean high quality prints for that I can sell, I can frame, I can put them in exhibitions. I'll be very happy to put on an exhibition with these art quality prints from Redbubble. So I've got that sorted now. So I really have I've made this transition from traditional artist to digital artist, and now I've got this Cintiq. I feel I've sort of taken the last step, although I suppose the last step will be when I get that 32-inch Cintiq on an Ergotron arm or something like that. That will probably be when I have made the total transition. But hey, this Cintiq 16, I can't recommend it enough. It is absolutely superb. It did take a little bit of getting used to, as I've said, but now I'm and it wasn't the Cintiq that I had to get used to, it was the software really that I'm using. I am really happy. So the channel is going to be, I'm obviously still doing all of the iPad stuff, and I'm going to do a couple of videos. I think I mentioned this in the last video, a couple of videos still on the iPad, and I am going to be doing at least one using the Cintiq, and I'll be using different software. So I'll probably get back into Rebel. I didn't buy that after I tried it, although I wanted to. I went down the Corel Painter 19 route, and I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more on Corel Painter. I'm really going to push that to its boundaries. I've looked at it, and I've got to the point where I can sort of set up my own custom libraries for tools, which I'm using here. I've got one. I've created an oil painting one, a watercolor painting one, and a pencil sketching one, which is the one I'm using here. So when I put the menu up, you'll see on the left hand side a selection of brushes that I'm using, and I've got airbrushes in there, some charcoal brushes, and a couple of pencils, and an eraser, and also a liquify brush as well to just move things around a little bit. So you can see that on the screen now on the left hand side. That's a custom set of tools that I've put together. But I know there is so much more where you can use textures of the paper more, and you can get the brushes to interact with the surface that you're painting on. So I'm going to be exploring those a lot more in the future. This colour picker, by the way, if you looking at Corel Draw, you've got a demo, or you're brand new to it, and you want to sort of look at some starter videos. Aaron Rutten is the master, I suppose. He's got so many tutorials on there. On one of them was starting off with Corel Painter 2019, or what's new in Corel Painter 2019. And it's worth watching that just to see how to get this colour wheel up, because that totally changed how I can work on this, because I can have this full screen for drawing on. Look how big that screen is, and I can just select the colours. I can either sample the colours off the drawing, or I've got this colour wheel which I can move about and pick the colour from. So that is absolutely brilliant. So Aaron, thank you just for showing that so much. That's totally transformed how I'm working on this. And I've also discovered, I came across it by accident. I was sort of looking in Art Rage to see if there was a similar thing, and there is. It's not quite as cool, because the one in Art Rage, you can't keep it on the screen. It keeps, every time you lift your cursor off the screen, it disappears. But you can select colours in the same way. So I'm going to be doing a lot more paintings in Art Rage 5 as well, and Corel Painter 19 until they bring the new one out. I'll probably upgrade to that as well. So I may look at Critter, because that's obviously a free package, and anything free is well worth looking at. And obviously Autodesk Sketchbook, I've been using that recently on the iPad. That's a free app, and again, that's available on the PC, and I've done some nice work in that before. So I'll probably be doing more videos in that as well. So I don't know, I may even up the rate of videos, because I'm so on it at the minute. I've just changed studio. I've got this really nice studio now. I've got this new mic, so my audio is sounding better. I'm looking at webcams, and I might look at streaming as well. I don't know if it'd be helpful if you put in the comments something about if you think streaming would be worthwhile or not, or would you be wanting to watch me stream a painting so you could see me do the thing in real time from start to maybe not finish, otherwise I'd be streaming for 5 or 6 hours, I guess. Although I guess a lot of streamers do that. So if you'd like to see some streaming, message in the comments would be helpful. And also, somebody contacted me about doing private lessons. And I don't do private lessons, and I don't really want to get into that because I'm having so much fun doing my own painting and exploring my own techniques. And I've run painting classes before, and I run a watercolor painting class for 6 years. But the problem with that was I found that because I was continually going over basic techniques and showing the same thing over and over again, I wasn't progressing myself, and it kind of switched me off a little bit. So I don't really want to get into doing private tuition or anything like that. But I do want to I'm really interested in looking at maybe doing a structured tutorial. I don't know, maybe 10, 20, 30 videos, I don't know, doing a step-by-step method right from the beginning, right the way through to doing a finished painting. So again, what I'd love for you to do is put in the comments a few words of what you'd like to see in the tutorial, what format you'd want it to take, what software you'd want to use. I think if I wouldn't want to do kind of a specific tutorial in where it's all about Procreate, because there's loads of videos like that. What I want to do is a tutorial where I'm talking much more general about techniques, and how you can use layers, and so you can use layers the same way in all the apps. It doesn't really matter. So I want to sort of demonstrate generic skills that you could use in any app, and really, so I could be demoing something in Procreate or Corel Painter 2019. So it might not be software specific. I don't know. I'd love to know or hear your thoughts on that, on what you would like to see. So that would be really, really cool as well. So anyway, getting back to this pencil drawing, I pretty much did the whole thing on 3 layers. I used an airbrush to get down the initial colours. I then was messing around with the chalks, and I discovered that they would leave the pencil mark under them. So I created a layer for the chalks and just put a few strokes in, not a lot. I didn't go crazy. And then I created a pencil layer and did the pencil drawing over the top. And I created one more layer, 2 more layers actually. One for the rose, because I thought I don't want to damage the pencil work underneath, and I may want to resize the rose, which in fact I did do, and move it around a little bit. And then I created one more layer just for the signature. So I didn't have a massive amount of layers. I've done this drawing in a style that I've been experimenting with over the last few weeks, and I have to say I've had a really good response from everybody. Everybody seems to like this style, where it's sort of a drawing, quite detailed, but I'm not using any blending. So you get to see every single pencil mark or line that I draw, and I leave them. So when you zoom out and you look from a distance, it looks as though it could be painted or blended. I'm not saying it's photographic, but it's close to photographic. But when you zoom in, you see absolutely every single pencil mark. And that is the reason I've chosen this. Was I thought this will really push this Cintiq for me to see how good it really is. And I have to say, I cannot fault it on any level. It's after the initial hiccup that I've had with it, it's totally surpassed my expectations. I love it. You've got that tilt thing on the pencil, so you can do shading if you want to. It's just absolutely frigging awesome, man. I love it to bits. So that is it. That is me using Corel Painter 2019 with a Cintiq 16. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, a big thumbs up as always is much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, because I have lots of videos like this and I would love to be sharing them with you. So hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Bye!